You were never meant to live constantly overwhelmed. For many people, overwhelm has become normal. Too many notifications, too many responsibilities, too many thoughts, and eventually the mind becomes crowded. This year, people are carrying more mental weight than ever before. Financial pressure, social media pressure, family pressure, digital overload. And because everyone else also seems overwhelmed, people assume this is just how life has to feel. But constant overwhelm is not healthy. Humans need pause, recovery, breathing room. Your brain cannot process endless pressure without consequence. So that's why so many people feel emotionally exhausted, even after resting physically anyway. Their mind never stops running, always thinking, always worrying, always anticipating the next thing to do. But this requires slowing down intentionally. Not everything deserves urgency. Some things can wait. Some expectations need boundaries. Some habits need change. Because you were not designed to constantly function in an emergency mode. A healthier life requires space. Space to think clearly, space to feel calmly, space to actually live instead of just reacting. So, protecting your peace is not laziness, it's survival in a world addicted to overstimulation. So, my challenge is create one slow hour this week. No rushing, no multitasking, no phone distractions, just intentional calm and presence. Some people are waiting for motivation that may never come. A lot of people think successful people feel motivated all the time. No, they don't. They simply learn how to move even when they don't feel it. That's discipline. This year, motivation is over romanticized. People wait to feel inspired before taking action, but feelings are inconsistent. Some days you will just feel driven, other days you won't. If your progress depends entirely on your emotion, your consistency will constantly break. Discipline is what carries people through the days motivation disappears. It's waking up and doing the work anyway, studying anyway, training anyway, trying again anyway. Not because it feels exciting, but because your future matters more than temporary comfort. The truth is, many people stay stuck waiting for perfect emotional conditions, waiting for perfect emotional conditions to begin. But successful lives are built through repetition, not moods, because actions create momentum, and momentum eventually creates motivation. You don't become disciplined overnight. You become disciplined one that keeps promise at a time every time you follow through. You strengthen trust in yourself, and self-trust changes everything. So my challenge is do one important task this week, specifically when you don't feel like it, and prove to yourself that discipline is stronger than emotions. Your attention is being sold every day. Attention has become one of the most valuable resources in the world. Companies compete for it, apps compete for it, algorithms compete for it, because where your attention goes, your energy follows. This year, many people think social media is free, but it's not. You pay with focus, with your time, with mental energy, and slowly your attention span weakens. People struggle to focus deeply now, struggle to stay present, struggle to sit still without stimulation because distraction has become constant and distracted people are easier to influence. That's why protecting your attention matters. Attention shapes your thoughts, your habits, your emotions. If you constantly consume negativity, your mindset changes. If you constantly consume comparison, your confidence changes. Your attention is powerful. Stop giving it away carelessly. This is because focus is a life skill now. The ability to think deeply, stay present, and concentrate without constant interruption is becoming rare, and rare skills become valuable. Protect your mind from endless consumptions because your future depends heavily on what consistently holds your attention. So, my challenge is track your screen time honestly this week and intentionally replace at least 1 hour of that scrolling with learning, reading, exercising, or building a skill. You keep outgrowing places you're still trying to fit into yourself. One of the hardest things about growth is realizing some environments no longer fit who you are becoming. Some places, some friendships, some mindsets, and yet many people keep shrinking themselves, trying to fit into spaces they've already outgrown. This year, people often confuse loyalty with self abandonment. They stay connected to unhealthy environments because living feels guilty. But growth changes you, so what once felt normal may now feel exhausting. Conversation that once entertained you now feels empty. Habits that once felt exciting now feels destructive. That's not arrogance, that's awareness. You are supposed to evolve. And evolution naturally creates distance from certain things. The danger is ignoring your growth may maintain comfort because eventually pretending to fit where you no longer belong becomes emotionally draining. You feel disconnected from yourself, and deep down, you know you're forcing alignments that no longer exist. Not everyone can go where you're headed, and this is painful, but that's the truth. Growth sometimes requires walking away from familiarity to protect your future. So, my challenge is be honest about one environmental relationship you've outgrown and begin taking steps towards healthier alignments. A lot of people are secretly afraid to be alone. Many people stay constantly distracted because silence feels uncomfortable. Always texting, always scrolling, always surrounded by noise. Not because they are busy, but because being alone with their thoughts feels overwhelming. This year, people feel loneliness so deeply that they settle for unhealthy company just to avoid being by themselves. They stay in draining friendships, emotionally unavailable relationships, toxic environments because emptiness feels frightening. But being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Loneliness is emotionally disconnection. Being alone can actually become healing because when you finally sit with yourself honestly, you begin learning who you really are outside of attention, outside noise and validation, and that's powerful. The problem is many people have never built a relationship with themselves, so silence feels unfamiliar. But the thing is, growth requires solitude sometimes. Reflection requires solitude as well. So healing requires solitude. Self awareness requires solitude. If you cannot be at peace alone, you may constantly depend on other people to regulate your emotions. And that creates unhealthy attachments. Learning to enjoy your own company is freedom because once you stop fearing loneliness, you stop settling for environments that damage your space. So, my challenge is spend intentional time alone this week without distractions. No scrolling, no entertainment. Just use the time to reflect on your thoughts, your emotions, and your goals.